I think this is where Spider-Man might show up. Ahoy there, this is Derek, the convicted cinephile. Please like, share, and subscribe, hit the bell, do the things. And here we like to talk, shop, and pop. Open, that is. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at convicted_cinephile. Now let's get started. So today I'm here to talk about the Great Guild Award Dump Nomination Day that's coming up on January 27th. I know what month it is. So on January 27th, we've got the Producers Guild Award nominations, Directors Guild Award nominations, Writers Guild Award nominations, and Ace Eddie Award nominations. And it's also the day Oscar voting for nominations starts. So it's a big day for the industry because the guilds are what really matters. The Golden Globes are fun. The Critics' Choice Awards are fun. They try to pretty much either go their own batshit crazy way or predict what they think the Oscars are going to do, but they don't matter really. So I'm going to take a look at each one and predict to you what I think is going to be nominated. And then on the 27th, I'm going to complain about what they snubbed. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the WGA because they have a weird rule system where if you don't submit your script via the official Writers Guild guidelines, you are ineligible for the Writers Guild of America awards. This usually affects really, really, really independent movies, foreign movies, and some screenwriters just don't give a shit. Like Quentin Tarantino, he doesn't go through the Writers Guild, so every time he has a movie up, it's ineligible for this Writers Guild. So I'm not going to spend as much time on this because literally the movies I think are going to win original and adapted screenplay at the Oscars are both ineligible here. So it's good for other movies to get a little bump and be seen through the Writers Guild nomination, but Belfast, which is what I assume at this point is going to win original screenplay, it might not. I kind of hope it doesn't. Is ineligible. Hero, Parallel Mothers, Worst Person in the World, Titan, all foreign films that are ineligible. Mass, which probably should get a screenplay nomination, is ineligible here, so that's kind of too bad. And Pig with Nicolas Cage is another one of the big ones, ineligible. So the 5 nominees are going to be things that aren't those, which basically leaves Paul Thomas Anderson free for original screenplay for Licorice Pizza, I think, on this one. I think he's going to get nominated, most likely win, and he's really the only challenger at the Oscars for original screenplay, it seems like, at this point. On to adapted. The Power of the Dog, which is the film that I assume will win at the Oscars, is also ineligible here, along with The Lost Daughter, which will probably be nominated at the Oscars. It's at least on the cusp, if not there. Other foreign films like Drive My Car, which might get it at the Oscars, and has been winning a lot of screenplay awards. And sadly, Spider-Man No Way Home apparently is ineligible for some reason. Not that I would ever expect that to be nominated for screenwriting. As much as I love it, it's not like, the writing was anything special. It's very convoluted. But you kind of can't help it when you have a movie with 3 superheroes and 5 villains in it that are finishing off 3 different franchises. As far as things that I think will get in there, adapted Dune could get in there. I don't think it'll win, but I think it'll get in. West Side Story, probably. I really, really, really want Tick Tick Boom to get in because I love Tick Tick Boom. And that's like the perfect example of how to creatively adapt a play into a movie. Because it's like a play / biopic adaptation. My dog's licking his food bowl and it's really loud. That's what that is. Like I said, too many weird things going on here to really make a worthwhile prediction list other than saying, I think this is what's going to win, besides what's going to win. So that's all I'm going to say for the Writers Guild. All right, let's do PGA next. I'm looking at my Oscar predictions to kind of gauge what I'm doing and hopefully not completely forget what I'm talking about. So, the things I have for the Oscars for Best Picture, so I guess you could consider this a quasi-Oscar nominee prediction list as well, is Power of the Dog, Belfast, West Side Story, Dune, Licorice Pizza, King Richard, Coda, Don't Look Up, Tick Tick Boom, and Tragedy of Macbeth right now. So this could change. We'll see what ends up getting nominated, and then it will change. But for the Producers Guild, the things I think could get bump in here, I should say, are things like House of Gucci, because it did well at SAG, and the movie actually made some money at the box office, which helps with the Producers Guild. And this is the one place where I am comfortable to predict Spider-Man to get in, because it made more money than any movie. Yeah, I mean, it's the fourth highest grossing movie of all time right now. It's made more than Black Panther. It's topped $700 million domestically, not including overseas. And they usually pick at least one really, really big blockbuster, either something that was insanely popular and well-liked, like Spider-Man. Shang-Chi is another one I think could sneak in under those criteria, but I think Spider-Man's just too big of a deal to let anything else squeak past it. The other somewhat large movie that could get in here would be No Time to Die, which I finally watched last night, and it was pretty good. I'm not a huge Bond person, but it's definitely better than a couple of the other Daniel Craig Bond movies. I'll put it that way. No reason it needs to be damn near 3 hours long, though. Why can't movies just be like an hour and 40 minutes anymore? It's ridiculous. And Being the Ricardos, which I also watched yesterday, finally, is another one that could sneak in here. It had a good amount of SAG love, and it's about production of a TV show of very famous people who are well-liked and well-known. It's the kind of thing that sneaks in at the Oscars just because it's about Hollywood, essentially. It's a crapshoot when it comes in here. But like I said, I think this is where Spider-Man might show up. I'm just going to leave it at that. So the DGA goes for classier things usually. I don't know. It's like the director's branch is a little more snooty, you could say. Which is why the DGA nominees are honestly as or more important than the Producers Guild nominees. Because the 5 things that get in at director for the DGA awards will absolutely get nominated for Best Picture. It's like that rarely goes otherwise. Very, very rarely, if ever. So if you can sneak into the DGA, it's a good sign for you at Best Picture. Like a couple years ago, for example, off the top of my head, Taika Waititi got into the DGA awards for Jojo Rabbit, but he didn't get nominated at the Oscars for director. But his movie did, and he ended up winning screenplay, so it shows a lot of support for the film. This year, we have Jane Campion for Power of the Dog, who I think is winning. I honestly don't think she has really any genuine competition in Best Director. Best Picture is a lot weirder just because of the way they vote for it. But I think it's her time. She's been around for 30 plus years, and she's just due at this point to win a Best Director Oscar. And I think that movie deserves it, at least based on everything I've seen, because the direction is outstanding. Denis Villeneuve for Dune, I think, will be getting in here because it's a big, sprawling epic that we don't get too often. That's as epic as it is high in quality, which is rare. I doubt he's going to win because it's the first half of a movie, which sucks for Dune to win any above the line awards. It's going to kick ass in the craft awards, but it's not going to win anything above the line, like writing, director, and picture. And it's not going to get nominated for any acting awards, most likely. So that doesn't help either. It's like Mad Max. It's the Mad Max of this year. But the good thing about Dune is that there is a second part coming that will hopefully have more character development and a complete story. And then it might give him some wins, just like Return of the King did for Peter Jackson. I have Kenneth Branagh in here. I think he's going to get in DGA. I think he might get snubbed at the Oscars, but I have him in for now just because it seems like such a sure thing. But he seems snubbable for some reason. I don't know why. And then you got the master Spielberg in there. Spielberg always gets in. He's won DGA and then not been nominated for the Oscars before. Like, what the hell movie was that for? Color Purple. He won the DGA award for The Color Purple and then somehow got snubbed at the Oscars, even though it got 11 nominations, and then didn't win any of them, which is, tying the record for most nominations and not winning anything. So, fun Oscar fact for you. And then I think Paul Thomas Anderson would get in here because he is a director's director. He's the auteur that we all love. He may or may not get in at the Oscars, depending on how well Licorice Pizza plays overall. He's another one I could see miss here, but he's missed DGA in the past and then still got nominated at the Oscars for Phantom Thread because it kind of came out a little late. But this one's been brewing a little longer, and I think enough people have seen it that they're either going to vote for him or they're not at this point. Things that could sneak in. I'm going to butcher this name. But Ryosuke Hamaguchi for Drive My Car could very easily sneak in. If he doesn't miss if he misses DGA, which wouldn't surprise me, I could still very easily see him getting in at the Oscars. Because foreign directors, even when they're not expected to win, like Bong Joon-ho or Alfonso Cuarón lately, for their foreign films, have been getting in more often. Paulo Palakowski is who I'm referring to. For Cold War, he got in, even though it didn't get in for Best Picture. Thomas Vinterberg last year got in for another round, even though that didn't get in for Best Picture. Just these like solid foreign directors who have a shitload of respect, who make their passion projects, often sneak into this race at the Oscars, if not at the DGA. Guillermo del Toro, he could get in here just based on the fact that he's Guillermo del Toro. Joel Cohen could get in here for Macbeth because he's Joel Cohen and he's fucking amazing. Sean Heder for Coda is one that could sneak in here, and if not here, could also sneak in at the Oscars. Hopefully we have a interesting snub, because it usually goes like 4 for 5 as far as nominations translating over from the DGA to the Oscars. Or we could just have a batshit crazy year like in 2012 when 3 of the directors of the DGA were snubbed at the Oscars, and then they randomly directed or nominated 3 other people no one expected. That was the year Ben Affleck got notoriously snubbed. I like when it's like that because it's fun, but it narrows down who's going to win a little too easy. So that's what I think of the DGA. Could go to anybody as far as nominations go, but winner, Jane Campion's year. We're going to have back-to-back female director winners for the first time ever, and it'll be for very deserving films, which is even better. On to editing. I love film editing. I enjoy, personally, film editing is a fun thing to do. It's always been one of my favorite things to do, which is honestly why I started this YouTube channel, because I just miss editing videos. Editing is the most important nomination to get outside of picture, writer, and director in acting. It's honestly probably as important as acting in order to give you a chance at a Best Picture win. Very, very rarely does a movie win Best Picture without being nominated for editing. It's happened like 3 times. And Birdman was, I think, the most recent one, because apparently the Academy doesn't understand how important very good editing is, and one-take pictures like 1917 didn't get nominated. So flawless editing doesn't get nominated at the Oscars. Invisible editing, you could call it. They don't like it. They like it to be most editing. That's why pieces of shit like Bohemian Rhapsody end up winning instead. Even though only the last 15 minutes of that movie were edited well. Anyways, film editing. What I have in for the Oscars right now, keyword being right now, is Belfast, Dune, Power of the Dog, Tick Tick Boom, because it goddamn deserves it. It's the only one I have that's not in the top 5 at Gold Derby for predictions. Don't Look Up is the number 5 one. Tick Tick Boom is way better than Don't Look Up in every way, and absolutely should get nominated for Best Editing. And West Side Story. All 5 of these films I have in for Best Picture nominees, as you can see, because I said it earlier. That's why it's important. Something cool could get in here, like you get the occasional Bourne Ultimatum in there, you know, that just has kick-ass editing, or like Terminator 2, or The Matrix, you know, stuff like that. A movie like that that could sneak in here this year would be like Last Night in Soho, or No Time to Die, for example, could do that. As far as winning editing goes, I think it would be Dune. I would just imagine it being Dune for some reason. It has genuinely good editing. I personally would vote for Tick Tick Boom out of the things I've seen. But for the Ace Eddie Awards, who the hell knows, right? Don't Look Up could easily get in here. I would not be surprised at all if Don't Look Up bumped out Tick Tick Boom, or any of these movies for that matter. The Ace Eddie Awards like to randomly do something. I could see Belfast getting bumped because the only reason most people are picking it for Best Editing is because they think it's going to win Best Picture, or at least get nominated for Best Picture. And I'll give it points for being the one movie that's like 97 minutes long in the race, and it's not 2.5 hours long for no damn reason. Something like Licorice Pizza could get in because it's a very lax editing style, but it might not be enough editing. So that's why I think Tick Tick Boom's going to get in. It's both good editing and a lot of editing. It's the perfect example of an editing nominee. King Richard could get in here if it has more support than we expect. It too has good editing, but not like, I don't want to say noticeable editing, because technically noticeable editing is a bad thing. But it's not like awesome, cool action editing. It's just kind of like, yeah, generic sports movie editing. Serviceable editing. There we go. There's a word. You know, Macbeth, Spider-Man could sneak in there for some reason. I just don't see anything. Last Duel is something I think actually should probably be more in the conversation for editing, but it probably won't be. So if that gets in at Ace editing, I'd be happy. That'd be a cool nomination for the Last Duel. But yeah, honestly, other than the 5 I have for Oscars is probably pretty much what I'd expect at the editing awards. Belfast, Dune, Power of the Dog, Tick Tick Boom, West Side Story, or Don't Look Up could bump out one of those 5. That's where I'm going with that. Editing. And that is the Great Guild Award dump of 2022. I'll be back complaining about what ends up getting nominated or very happy about it. It could go either way. I'm sure there's always both. Once again, please like, share, and subscribe if you are a convicted cinephile like myself. Follow me on Instagram and the TikTok at convicted_cinephile. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.